From Suffolk, Delegate Jones.
Speaker, I rise for a point of personal privilege.
Delegate has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, it is budget week. We kicked it off yesterday with House Bills 29 and 30. They were reported out 20 to 2, both documents. We had a several-hour presentation by the subcommittee chairman yesterday. And as I mentioned early on in the session, we had 7 new members out of the 22 on our committee this year. We had 5 new subcommittee chairmen. And I think the work product that was delivered yesterday is probably one of the best I have seen in my 21 sessions here in Richmond. First off, I promised at the beginning of the session that we would do several things. We'd work efficiently and transparent. Delegate Levine, you like that word, I know. We would pass a structurally balanced budget, which we have. We'd remain committed to the core functions of government, which we have as well. And we would be, most importantly, good stewards of the taxpayers' dollars. I'm happy to say that the subcommittee in their work and the chairman and the committee have done all the above. As we had been mentioned several times, tomorrow the amendments will be on your desk. You can make any objections by, I think, noon on Wednesday, and then floor amendments by noon on Wednesday, and any objections by 11 on Thursday. Highlights: there were no general fund tax increases. We deposited $91 million in the cash reserve, a 2% teacher pay raise effective the first month of our second year of the budget in July 2019. We put $98 million more into K-12 than is in the introduced budget, which I think is very significant. I want to thank Delegate Peace for his efforts with the subcommittee on K-12. We put $30 million more in higher education than originally proposed by the governor, which is a total increase from this biennium to next biennium of $152 million. We retained the $45 million in financial aid, which means lower tuition. We targeted some of that financial aid to try to make sure we can align the graduates with the jobs that are needed and necessary in the real world, as we like to call it. We provide a 2% across-the-board pay increase for state employees beginning July 1st, 2019. And if revenues are there at the end of this fiscal year, a 2% one-time bonus. Over $150 million in the higher ed space is to target to grow our economy. We provide $18 million more in 599 funding, and there's $2.8 million for the new tactical team in the Special Operations Division of State Police. We took a responsible approach to health care that guarantees conservative reforms, but provides much-needed health coverage, I should say, to those most vulnerable in our Commonwealth. We were fiscally responsible in this approach. The budget language requires us to begin working with the Trump administration, as you know, to use federal Medicaid funds to provide private health insurance to low-income Virginians while ensuring that we have key conservative reforms like work engagement are included. These are similar to what was done in Indiana by Vice President Mike Pence, and we feel that this is our best opportunity to have reforms, much like we did back 20 years ago in the Allen administration on the VIEW program. As we look at the work engagement and cost sharing to make sure that people have personal responsibility, we think that is key. We want to do a hand up and not a hand out. I think the most important reform is the training, education, and employment opportunity program that's included in the budget, and it was in the gentleman from Virginia Beach bill, Delegate Miyares. It has a taxpayer safety switch, which will ensure that the taxpayers will not be on the hook for any of the cost of the new expanded population. And we make sure that the hospital assessment will truly reflect the cost of the program. We will treat that much like you treat a regulated utility. Any overpayment would then be coming back to those entities or would reduce the base rate moving forward. I look forward to a lively debate on the floor on Thursday. I want to thank you for your time, and I would like to say that, from my perspective, and it's not me because I'm chairman, it's because of the way we have approached our budgeting in this chamber. The engagement of the 100 members makes our job very, very easy of knowing where the body stands in the direction that we need to be embarking on the 13th floor. Yeah, 13th floor, unlucky 13. At least my number's not 1313, it's 1312. But I do look forward to the debate on Thursday, and I want to thank Robert Vaughn and his staff for the wonderful job that they do. They were here all weekend and worked late into the night, and they're still working, just so you all know. They're getting half sheets together, doing side-by-side comparisons of the Senate budget versus the House budget. So they are working, coming in early and staying late. So I would like to thank you for your attention and your time, and have a wonderful rest of the day.